All right, well there it is. The first, I guess, official storm warning is in effect, and we're supposed to be getting 10 to 15 centimeters, and there's no time like the present to mount the snowblower and get ready for snow plowing. It is like a haily, wet, icy mess, so let's go do that now. So I just wanted to put the outside light on so you could see what it's doing, and so I guess we'll take it from there. We'll go inside, we'll close the door, and we'll get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the snowblower, roll it around here, take the front bucket off of the BX, and we have the dolly back here for that, right here. And we'll just swap it out. I run a box blade. I was looking for a angled blade, but I didn't find one in my price range this fall. So I will be switching out the A-frame hitch that we built. But if you haven't seen that video, check it out. I'll put a link in the description below where Madison made that one. That was a fun video. And the box blade is down the wood chip road, so I'll try to want to get that as well before it gets iced over and kind of stuck there. So I'm just going to get some of this stuff cleared out of the way, and then we'll get started. Do it. So now that we have that cleaned up, we'll grab the dolly and move it over here and get the front end loader removed. This leaking up, which is going to put pressure on the line, and we're not going to be able to lock this into place next. We're going to have to release the pressure and get it in our eyeballs again.
My eyeballs.
Your eyeballs.
All right, so really quickly, we're going to rejig everything. It's caught up on this lip right here, and ideally we want the bucket to lay flat. My dad's concern is that there's too much pressure on the cylinder here. It'll eventually leak down and put pressures on the line, and that's no good, because if you remember last year Maybe my dad can put some like a clip in. No eyeball. One of these lines was really hard, and we had to like bleed them out before we could actually stitch it back on and send this way, get it ready for like the season. So yeah, we're just gonna, you know, rejig everything really quickly, get this fucking laying flat, and be good to go. Now it's over that lip. Still tucked in pretty good. And it'll slide forward. Releasing the pressure. And now the whole thing is in a way better spot, ready for storage.
So now that that's done, I'm going to pull in the rams so they're not exposed all winter long. All right, much better. So now we'll just take the quick connect off, which is pulling this little pin. And that sits right in here. So the tractor is disconnected. We're gonna wheel this out of the way and then bring the snowblower over.
Yeah, and again, just to reiterate, this was the main concern of having it sit that way. We didn't want it to leak down into this position and then cause this to be extremely hard to, you know, to push back on and get back to work. All right, it's out of the way. Grab the snowblower and on to the next thing.
And then now that that's done, slide the pin through, right here.
That hole there. And you put it in this pin right in there.
So then the pin goes in there.
Next step.
Next step, we'll do the drive shaft. So we have to take off the expanded Under Armour that I use.
We just ate, so a little discombobulated. Oh.
So under here, we have the expanded armor plate, and Aiden has to pull his pin on his side. I pull mine off, and then it comes off these front latches.
You got it?
Yeah.
What's the impromptu review of this thing? Doesn't take much damage at all. Actually, none.
So this is 3 years of use. I had purchased this before I even got my tractor, knowing I wanted to protect the HST fan underneath, and I think it's done an admirable job. We will check to make sure the HST fan is not broken now, just to make sure, but that's what this is for, is to protect, and it's doing just that. There are some other manufacturers who have a bit of a different design with a hole here that you can remove a plate, and I think that's called Brotec makes those ones, and it allows you to leave this on all winter long and then just open up this little panel to make sure you have room for the drive shaft. But the BX Expanded is quite easy to remove, and I love it.
Okay, so that's amazing. Why do you have to inspect the fan?
You have to make sure that your HST fan doesn't get twigs or branches or stuff stuck up into it, because that's what cools down your hydrostatic transmission, keeping it running optimal. So let's go underneath the tractor and see how ours is doing.
So you're saying that because it's plastic and sticks and stuff can get jammed up in there, you might like damage or break that fan, and then you could like overheat and all that? Ah, okay, okay. Sweet, yeah, let's take a look.
Okay. So there's the HST fan, and mine looks like it's in great condition. So I'm not worried about anything going up and hitting them. On the newer tractors, they do supply this small plate, but twigs and stuff and branches can still go up in there and damage that plastic fan. So the Be Expanded covers this entire area, right down even to covering my hydrostatic filter and the PTO. So that's why I like it.
Sweet.
All right. Let's put the drive shaft on. All right. I'm not sure what you can see because it's really dark under here, but we have the spline on the front of the K-Connect for the snowblower, and we have to connect it to the PTO on the back of the mid-mount PTO.
You guys have seen it a couple times now, but...
Yeah, so this goes on here. There is a couple Zerk fittings that we will have to get to. So the first thing is to connect this to the K-Connect spline.
Then on this side, just gonna wipe that off, but there is a spring here. Show you in a second here. So there's a spring here, and as you pull it, it's like a lock ring. Basically, you do that so that on the shaft itself, once he's finished cleaning that, the shaft has a little lock section in there, and the PTO shaft will not slip off on the what is it called? HST side.
No,
so
on the mid-mount mower side.
On the mid-mount mower side. I'm a car guy. These tractor lingos are not my forte, but we're getting there.
The other thing that makes things really easy, if you disconnect your lever for your mid-mount mower, this rotates really easily, making lining up the splines a lot easier.
So again, he's going to pull that spring, put that lock ring back, shimmy it on there. There you go. And it locks into place, sturdy, will not come off. This side has plenty of engagement, so that's no problem there. If you remember, you had to replace those bearings because they had some play and they were chattering the whole thing, but it should be good for the season.
Yeah. And if you want to know how you replace these pillow bearings, check out my other video. I have a link in the description. That was causing a lot of chattering that was going on, and it was that the actual bearings were split. So I have that video down below.
Good to go. How's this going on a scale of 1 to 10?
It's going about a 5.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have rated it. 5. Yeah, I would have rated it like a 7.
6.5. All right, so now that the K-Connect is on and the PTO shaft is connected, we're going to run the 2 lines that are required for the K-Connect. And I'm going to clean off the connectors.
It's crazy to see some of the wear that's starting on these crimped fittings. Starting to show a little bit of wear. You get to get in there again, retape that so they don't leak. So is there a specific coloring here?
So my Kubota dealer added color coding rings. So you see the white goes to the white, the yellow goes to the yellow. And then when we get the chute attached, we'll have 2 lines to go from the red and the blue.
Sweet, that's pretty handy. And you just cap off those other ones?
No, they get from there.
Oh, okay.
The other 2 go from BX2822A heavy duty snowblower has the hydraulic chute rotation, so that we'll be able to have this rotating. And then we also opted for the electric chute deflection, and I'll connect that in a minute.
Yeah,
So,
they've seen that in action too.
yeah.
That thing works pretty well. The maintenance on that's pretty low, eh? You just maybe like grease the teeth there, but apart from that, it hasn't stripped at all either.
No, it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Should we rotate this?
We shall. All right, let me set the camera up.
I'll start the tractor.
There we go.
All right, so now that the hooks are on to hold the snowblower, we're going to engage the pins that lock it into place.
I think maybe we should work on a little bit more lighting in here. That's 1, 2.
So again, they're color coded. On the BX, they have these pigtails, which are, you're supposed to wind the hoses through, but they are a pain in the butt to try to get them through. So what I do is I just zip tie them together. I will come up with a better way of just having a cradle for them, and then that'll work great. I just haven't done that yet. So then these will get zip tied together and all this. So the last thing that we're going to do is we'll connect the electrical chute deflection, and that's because I have a momentary switch on my control stalk to allow me to deflect up and down on the go. The beauty of that is you can be rotating and changing the deflection all at the same time. You don't have to push a switch to change the flow if this was to be a hydraulically controlled deflection. So that's your connection. These are just the two caps put together so dirt doesn't get in there.
Those connectors are so high quality. Deutsch connectors.
Now just get some zip ties and clean that up. And everyone knows you always cut these at a sharp angle. So if you don't have your gloves on, it cuts you really bad. So as you can see, that's nice and sharp. And that'll do some good damage next time you're down here. I'll cut it off nice. There.
Add that into the bloopers. Here's mosquito. It's like late November.
Next on the list, we're gonna lower the snowblower down and make our connection at the K-connect. So I'll show you that now. So now that we've connected the PTO shaft to the K-connect on that long spline, we have to make sure we engage the K-connect to the reduction box, and that's done by this lever here. And it has to make sure that it engages completely. If not, the I don't know what it's called.
The gear set?
Sure. If not, the gear set won't match, and when you go to start it up, it'll be jarring and really noticeable and loud. So the way you do that is just to engage it. You get to notice how far this engages. And then what I usually do is just try to spin the impellers. If I do this.
Yeah, no, it's almost like a transfer case. It's all open and free, and then it's locked. So like,
Oh, there it is now.
it's locked fully there.
Yeah. So you can tell it's in the right position when the lever comes up and is in line with the back of the frame.
Yeah, like even after spinning it like that, it didn't like clunk any further. So that's something to watch out for sure.
Okay, so now we'll start it up and we'll just see if everything works.
What does this stuff do? So what were you doing with this?
Okay, so this is your PTO selection switch, and I had it on the rear PTO, which was for my wood chipper, and I don't use the wood chipper and a mid-mount mower, so I needed to move it all the way up to here, which is just the mid-mount mower, the mid-mount PTO. What's very important is to engage any PTO at idle RPM. Once it's engaged, then you can ramp up the speed of the engine to the proper position. The last thing to do is we're going to push the front end loader into its resting spot for the winter, and then we're going to go down to the wood chip road and attach the box blade to the back. It'll be the next day for us, but it'll be like that for you. All right, so that snap of the finger took a couple days actually. So now all the snow's gone. It's back up to +4. The amount of snow, I'll put a little quick video here of what transpired over the evening, but it wasn't so bad. But we're now going to take off the A-frame hitch and go down and get the box blade. We'll put that on. If it wasn't clear in the last video that when we introduced this, we did buy it. So that is a purchase off of Amazon. I don't have a Canadian link, but if you need to, just put in the comments and I will paste it there for you. So we'll see how it works. There's probably more graceful ways of doing that, but I didn't do it. I must say they're nice pins and stuff, so that's good. So we'll just make sure we have the wrenches for that, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to open them wider. Open those wider for the box blade, so we'll just make sure we have stuff in here. Pins, hooks, whatnot. Look, there's some snow. Alright, so we're going to put that on the back of the BX, so let's do that now. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to open these up. Yeah, they're probably the right size, but I need them to go just a bit further. So I'm also just gonna make sure that we have the pins and stuff. I think they're different pins. I think they're right here. And if you remember, I lost these last season and I couldn't figure out how it happened, but I guess what had happened was I'd pushed really hard backwards against something, bent the pins, and then they just rotated and fell out, and then my box blade was hanging there. So definitely not sure why being able to push hard backwards affected the pins. Strange to me, but they did. So I'm just going to put you down and separate these a bit. I am also going to put my cap on my rear PTO because I do not need it with the box blade on, so I'll protect that. Now it's just a matter of muscling this in position, and I'm going to lower the implement so that the arms will be in line with it a little bit easier. And now I'll just throw my back out by moving this by hand. All right, that's the first one. That went quite easy, actually. That must mean this one's gonna struggle. Haha! Nice! A lot better than I thought. All right, top link. So I think I will, I'm gonna raise up the implements so that that will fit better, because I can't shorten it anymore. Nice. So now that that's on, as you can see, it is still too wobbly, but I'm gonna just tighten it by hand now, and then we're gonna take it up to the shop, put it on the cement, make sure it's level, because I can't do that here because it's not level. So I just want to make sure it's level. So this is basically just to make sure that it's not going to swing wildly while I'm in transport. And then we'll make sure that it's straight behind. All right, let's take that back. Okay, now that we're back in the shop, what I was talking about is I want to make sure this is sitting exactly behind the tractor, not being pulled over to one side, because that changes the angle that this is scraping at. So I want to make sure it's straight. I want to make sure it's level so that it's not digging out one corner and not the other. But more importantly, I want to make sure that it is dragging this cutting bar, this cutting edge, as opposed to digging with the inside one. So that means I want to make sure that the box blade is tipped backwards so that the back edge is riding across the snow. So that means that I won't be digging into my pavement. So let's do that now. So now we're going to lower the box blade and make sure that the cutting edge is uniformly touching the ground the whole way across. Okay. So that's pretty good. All right, I'm happy with that. Now the only other thing is I want to tilt it. I want to tilt it so that the box blade is on this angle across the bottom, not flat. And that's good for me. So you can see that came up nicely. My cutting edge is touching. The inside one is not. There's space there. So that's what I want. If I would have had to have adjusted the angle of my box blade from side to side, I would have done it with this adjustment here. Unscrew the lock nut, rotate this in or out, and then tighten it again. All right, back to the future where we continue putting away all the front end loader and stuff, and we'll close out the video. All right, so that's the winter position for these things this time. And the snowblower is on. Very happy with that. I'm gonna end this video. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. It shows that you like what we're doing here. Maybe share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next time. What did you do on your land today? Because today, Aiden and I switched out the front end loader for the snowblower. We switched out.
We did some stuff.
We did some things.
You're in the garage, and thanks for joining us.
See you in the next one. And stay tuned for the next video because we will be doing the 200-hour service on the BX23s.